Let me attempt to explain some of this family bit. I was the healthcare agent. I didn't get a choice. I showed up 3 rounds of cancer. It's a lot of commitment. 3% chance of survival. Was never about the cancer. And when I refused to take the money of the sale of the house into my name because I'm on Social Security disability insurance permanently, is that when I burned the bridge, Uncle Gary? Is it? Didn't do enough for you, Mr. Maine? I'm just not impressed with any of you. Okay? But my family situation hasn't downgraded. I'm stuck at that agitation. And I'll say this again, it's being withheld until. Now, this crap that I'm learning about the other side, the one you're stuck in with the new cousin, what a shame. Court theatrics and all, huh? But do unto others, right? That's what we were taught. Just do unto others. Well, I exited the agent contract as required. I took my name off the contact list for the nursing home so they wouldn't get confused, the boys, okay? Then what? Then they had their opportunity to show up for their mother and not have emotional regret about not doing enough. There you go. I was too emotionally and physically responsible for my mother alone. And then to have a dirty ask from a lawyer and tell me I burnt the family bridge because they could have gotten more money. Well, to my uncle, were you in love with my mother? Is that why you would cry at the table? You couldn't touch her, couldn't have her? I don't know. That's my question, but you sure did like it when I was all dressed up, right? Oh, yeah. Now, it's that distorted. I mean, and they're wrapped up in Disney. They always have been. Zoom, Romper Room. I'm the one that stayed home. I got the Jiminy Cricket outfit. I used to stare at it hanging in the closet. Couldn't wait to wear it. But I was the one being chased around by a ghost. Okay? I'm the one that wouldn't walk on the floor in my bedroom. I'd be hidden behind the headboard, squeezed between the paneling, the headboard, and the heater. Scared out of my mind. And that was after the farmhouse. And now all this stuff. And as you see, it came out of me, my own hand. I'm not replicating anybody. I'm doing my own thing. And you people still can't tolerate it. What was that party where Laura ended up bumping into Dan 5 years ago about? Was it? What she said 5 years ago about? Now, the reference to the video that I just saw about Texas, that's where my son is, with his wife that I've never talked to. My grandchild, possibly more grandchildren. With who? What are they doing? What are they doing? Because I don't know. And again, in the courthouse, with what I perceive to be like an Ursula. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right behind him. Well orchestrated. And sitting in the box And like I said, how dare you? How dare you try and force me to put an application on my phone and use it when I've never used it and I've never signed up for it? Now, that's just one of the tenuous situations that I encountered with that thing that couldn't exactly define herself, but it was maybe Amelia put into the phone menu after several attempts of contact with Robert Plant, the Maybe song, then the maybe of the Sam at Roe Ford. Pattern. I didn't put it in. It was put in play. Now, from kindergarten on, we know Sylvia does not play well with others. She'll throw a clog at you on the playground. I've always been self-defensive, but I've never been deemed a physical threat because, as they saw it in this apartment here, when they breached the door, and I was sitting in the corner and told Liz to get the fuck out, back off, back away, get the fuck out. As with Amelia, sitting in that chair, I don't remember saying that, really. Fuck what your daughter says, Sylvia. About what? About the historical reporting? What? The death threat? Well, yeah, well, she used to, throw furniture at me, corner me in the house. Anger, tarot. Yeah, I could, forget that part. But, what you don't want to address here is the fact that my ex was born and raised here and was assaulted by the clergy and other men in the community. So I have to say if. Back to that, I have to say if that actually happened in my 20-year marriage. Now, you can assume, I was a supporter, that I support predators. No, it is not like that. You refuse to determine what a predator actually is because you find them useful in the community. But now you're realizing it's too saturated. And because the predators get to come out and have to be rehabilitated back into the community to make money, how does the rest of the public that's been offended, which becomes a minority, go out into that? Now, I don't have paperwork on anyone, but it's reciprocal and it's both ways. But what they don't want to admit is the things that they didn't arrive for, that they listened through on the other sides of the walls, that they tried to create as a eviction purpose of bad behavior, that today is still undefined, but it was allowed. Then you put me back in an office setting where I have to sit with people and try and explain the upset while they deny it, and you try and force me to stay in the room when I need to emotionally readjust. How dare you? But you'll come back and take care of it, right? That ain't happening. Well, according to your society of biblical relief, do unto others. It's going to come back around to you. So this is why I don't understand it. And to the algorithm, this is not a substance problem. It's the circumstance that I was placed in, partly by choice, because this area was on my housing option list to be moved into. And it was a 2-year waiting list 12 years ago. And I got into the building in 6 months, and they're like, wow, that's unheard of. And then I hear Nasty Bean say, well, I picked you because you dressed nice. And for a while, I was her little grocery mule. And socially, it was okay because it was things I was used to doing. But also on Colonial Road in Westbrook, that's where Mr. Ridley would hang out at the Goff's house on the regular, knowing everything that I arrived for at my parents' house. Now, let's jump to my brother, the paranoid schizophrenic, the one that is a little more gifted than myself and is able to see full-on apparitions. And when they get aggressive, it is very difficult to distinguish which path he is supposed to follow, according to, these tarot distorted people. You hear the message, you're hearing it clearly, or you're not catching the frequency. Well, which is it? Do we serve man or do we serve the ghost? Because in this reality, how we feed ourselves, we get up on our feet, we go out, we do it. This is why I qualify for Social Security disability. I made my 14 quarters myself. That's another thing they're angry about. I have that in place. I also have the 20-year marriage in place, and I will get another Social Security regrouping, reformulation, and that's going to come around. And you people aren't going to like that either. But you cannot get me to exit my material things without paying for it. And because it's been 8 years of terrorizing, systematic abuse, non-arrival, and obvious obfuscation to accountability, you people are stuck. You can't afford it. You can't afford it. 'Cause I'm no Disney princess. Watch me while I fuck this. And you know it. And that's what you're pissed about. You've got no originality. You're living off reruns, not me.